Welcome to our channel. Please like and subscribe. You leave a conversation feeling confused, drained, somehow guilty, even though minutes earlier, you were certain you were making sense. You replay the conversation in your head. What just happened? Why did everything suddenly become your fault? Why did they never answer the original question? And why do you now feel emotionally exhausted while they seem perfectly calm? Tonight, we explored 10 subtle ways narcissists try to control conversations and why these tactics can quietly reshape your emotions, your confidence, and even your perception of reality. Because conversational control rarely looks obvious. Sometimes it sounds polite, sometimes it sounds intelligent, sometimes it even sounds caring. But underneath the surface, the goal is often the same: control. Section 1. Changing the subject. One common tactic is sudden redirection. The moment accountability appears, the topic changes. You bring up something hurtful they said, and suddenly the conversation becomes about your tone or your past mistakes or something completely unrelated. The original issue quietly disappears, and now you are defending yourself instead. This creates confusion because the brain naturally tries following the new emotional direction, and over time, you may stop noticing how often the real topic never gets resolved. Section 2. Interrupting constantly. Healthy conversations involve exchange, but conversational control often involves interruption. Not always aggressively, sometimes subtly, just enough to prevent your thoughts from fully forming over time. This trains you to speak less confidently. You begin shortening your sentences, second-guessing your ideas, waiting for permission to finish speaking, and eventually, their voice dominates the emotional atmosphere completely. Section 3. Turning every conversation back to themselves. You share a painful experience, and somehow, within seconds, the conversation becomes about them, their struggles, their stress, their emotions, their story. This creates emotional imbalance. Your experiences receive minimal space, while theirs consume the entire interaction. Over time, you may begin feeling invisible or emotionally unsupported because the relationship slowly revolves around one person's emotional gravity. Section 4. Weaponized confusion. Some people create confusion intentionally. They speak vaguely, contradict themselves, deny previous statements, or shift meanings constantly. One day they say one thing, the next day they insist they never said it. This destabilizes certainty, and when certainty disappears, control becomes easier because confused people are easier to influence. Section 5. Fake calmness. Sometimes control appears as extreme calmness, especially while you become emotional. They may appear rational, while quietly provoking reactions underneath the surface. Then, once emotion appears, they focus entirely on your reaction, not what caused it. Suddenly, your frustration becomes the issue, and their behavior disappears from focus completely. This allows them to appear emotionally superior while avoiding accountability. Section 6. Subtle insults disguised as jokes. Another tactic is disguised humiliation. Small comments hidden inside humor, tiny insults followed by, "I'm just joking," or "You're too sensitive." This creates psychological uncertainty because confronting it makes you seem unreasonable, but ignoring it still hurts over time. Self-esteem slowly weakens, especially when repeated often. Section 7. Making you explain yourself repeatedly. Healthy conversations seek understanding. Manipulative conversations seek exhaustion. You explain your feelings once, then again, but nothing changes. The goal is not clarity. It is emotional depletion because exhausted people eventually stop defending themselves. They give up just to end the tension. Section 8. Playing the victim even after hurting others. Some people immediately become the victim. You confront harmful behavior, and suddenly they are the wounded one. Now you feel guilty for speaking up, and the focus shifts away from accountability. This creates emotional reversal. The person harmed ends up comforting the one who caused harm, and over time, this distorts emotional boundaries. You begin questioning your own feelings. Section 9. Selective listening. Another tactic is selective listening. They hear criticism clearly, but ignore your feelings. Your needs disappear. Your boundaries fade, and over time, you feel emotionally invisible because communication becomes one-sided. Section 10. Making you doubt yourself. Perhaps the most damaging tactic is making you distrust your own thinking, not always through direct lies, but through small contradictions, minimizing your emotions, questioning your memory, saying you misunderstood. Over time, your confidence weakens. You begin relying on their version of reality more than your own, and this becomes dangerous. Because once someone shapes your perception, they can influence your emotions, your decisions, and even your identity. Manipulative conversations rarely feel obvious at first. They feel confusing, draining, hard to explain. But noticing the pattern changes everything, because awareness reduces its effect. And once you start trusting your own perception again, control loses strength. Healthy communication does not leave you anxious, confused, or drained. Real connection does not need control, and respect does not need manipulation to exist. That was excellent. Please like and subscribe for daily lessons. See you next time.